platform of people pretending to be support.
We are responding to those in kind, but not escalating the situation. Our message to Hezbollah is that any aggression, any escalation in the situation would not serve the purposes neither of Hezbollah and definitely not those of Lebanon or the Lebanese people. And we continue to prepare ourselves for enhanced military operations in Gaza, monitoring the movement, the evacuation of Gazan civilians from Gaza City in the north to south of the Gaza River. Just to remind everybody, we are talking about a distance of between 5 and 7 miles. 7 miles if you're going from north of Jabalia, south, and 5 miles if you're anywhere in central Gaza City, south of the border. That's the distance. And I think it's important to remind anybody who is from bigger or larger nations that we're talking about very small distances. The timing for our enhanced military operations, we will decide that according to different parameters. As always, military activity is timed according to many variables, some of them physical, some of them related to humanitarian constraints, some of them related to the state of your enemy and the state of your own readiness. But the bottom line is that we will commence enhanced military activities when the timing suits the goal. The aim of this war is to completely dismantle Hamas and its military capabilities. We intend for there to be no such capability in the hands of Hamas or anybody else in the Gaza Strip once this war is over, and to change the situation in southern Israel, along the border, and in Israel in general for the good, not only for a few years, but for generations. With that, we will start with the Q&A session, and the administrators here will open it up for a few people at a time. We'll do questions and then other people who have the opportunity. Please be brief. I have about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and I would like to make the most of it and allow people who didn't ask yesterday ask questions today. Yeah, Israel. There definitely is a yes, I can.
Okay, apologies for the bad connection. Can you please comment on the effect that the gross misinformation by
Sphinx, did you mean to mute?
Could you repeat that? You were saying gross information?
Yes. So of the Israeli people, however, disseminating information that is completely false and propagating this information in the guise of humanitarian efforts. Unfortunately, sir, a couple of those people were on this stage yesterday, I have to tell you. Thank you very much for this question, and Godspeed.
Okay, thank you for bringing things to my or our attention. There definitely is an information war ongoing. There is battle for global public opinion. And on the topic, I think that the most blatant attempt by Hamas to blame Israel for something or pin blame or do a complete psyops or media ops is related to an unfortunate incident where a convoy of evacuees from northern Gaza was traveling south on Salahuddin Road, which was the main evacuation road, and something happened. Stuff exploded, vehicles were burnt, people were killed, and the almost immediate knee-jerk response in many media outlets, not all, some were careful and prudent, was that this was an Israeli strike. Many professionals have since had a look at this, at some of the footage. I'm aware of 2 locations, or one location where there was an explosion that we've seen.
Today, the United Nations revealed the true face of Hamas when they confirmed that Hamas stole fuel and medical equipment from UN offices in Gaza City. The amount of fuel stolen is enough to power Gaza's water desalination for 6 days. I repeat, for 6 days. Hamas is holding the people of Gaza hostage, cowardly, using them as human shields. Hamas is at war against humanity, not just Israel. They terrorize Jews and Arabs. They seek deaths of Israelis and Palestinians. The Israel Defense Forces will destroy Hamas for the sake of Israel, Gaza, and the entire world. Today, the United Nations revealed the true face of Hamas when they confirmed that Hamas stole fuel and medical equipment from UN offices in Gaza City. The amount of fuel stolen is enough to power Gaza.
It's almost 10% of the whole event was just erased. My name is Jonathan Diller. I'm 28. I'm an Italian-American citizen, and I live in Israel. I survived the horrifying terror attack at the music festival. My friend and I and all our group were dancing. Suddenly, at 6:30, we just saw rockets, dozens of rockets on top of our head. We weren't surprised. This is something that has happened in the past, rockets being launched to Israel. We knew the drill. Suddenly, I see this woman doing this U-turn and just see her knee that was shot, that was bleeding. We tried to find something to block her wound, try to close it with our shirts, bring her water. They're shooting around us, and we just heard dozens of gunshots. In the meantime, she was just dying in front of our eyes. We went to the river east from our location. We were hiding and just waiting for things to end. But slowly, we were hearing more gunfire and heavy gunfire and bullets on top of our head. And I was screaming, everyone just lay down and put your head down. And just keep moving forward, keep moving east, away from the compound, away from the event. We just kept walking. And unfortunately, there were people that stayed there. These people were, I guess, just not lucky. So we were walking for hours and hours. We were all exhausted. We didn't have any water, no food. While we were walking, there were dozens of missiles on top of our head. We finally got to the outskirts of the closest village called Patish. We saw people waiting for us with cars, calling us in Hebrew and just waving. We were all just running to them, not knowing where we're going, but we know we're going to somewhere safe. There were hundreds of people from the event. They can't find their friends. We understood that they were really lucky because the ones that left first are the ones that interacted with the terrorists. But if we didn't see that gunshot of the injured woman in the beginning, we didn't think that this would be such a big and horrifying event. There were around 3,000 people.
Sinwar is the leader of Hamas terror. A murderer.
Just rockets, RPG, grenades, all kinds of stuff around here. You can see by the amount of munitions, the medical equipment and food that they brought with them that they were prepared for long term in our villages. You can see by the symbols on all the equipment that everything is homemade of Hamas, homemade production. All the munitions that you can see in here is about approximately 20% of what Hamas terrorists brought on their vehicles. You can see different kinds of shaped charges, rockets, RPG, grenades, all kinds of stuff around here. You can see by the amount of munitions, the medical equipment and food that they brought with them that they were prepared for long term in our villages. You can see by the symbols on all the equipment that everything is homemade of Hamas, homemade production. All the munitions that you can see in here is about approximately 20% of what Hamas terrorists brought on their vehicles. You can see different kinds of shaped charges, rockets, RPG, grenades, all kinds of stuff around here. You can see
ثلاثة كيلو. هذه عليا. انزل انزل انزل. لك القاذف والزر الزر. هات اغراض هات. هات اغراض دروع. ارمي ارمي. اي استنى استنى. يا اولاد مين هاد؟ تعال تعال. مع حسه مال، بس تضلك ذكر لي المكان هذاك. ايه دخل جوا. ارجع تمام. ايه هاتوا. مش سامع. يفتح عرضك. فيش حدا فوق. يا علي تطلع من كل مكان. ايش الدخنات؟ اسمع في صوت مسكت حسه. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
בשעות הקשות האלה אני רוצה שתדעו, צה"ל כאן בכל עוצמתו, יכולותיו ובעיקר